In this video I will showcase the closing of the 148 scale Trumpeter Type 7C German U-boat. The model is huge, it's 1 meter 20 centimeter long and comes with three separate parts for the hull. The left side, which is normal plastic, you can see it here painted in grey already. The right side, which is fully transparent, and the one-piece stern hull, which is also fully transparent. If you simply mask the transparent side and look inside the boat, you will have a lot of distortion and you will lose a lot of light and a lot of detail. So I decided to cut an opening for each compartment. That transparent plexiglass is very difficult to work with. When you cut it, it basically melts very quickly, so make sure you use a very slow speed for your milling or cutting machine. Right, so I will cut the opening in the transparent side, then paint the parts separately. Then we can place the compartment and close the hull. If you follow the instruction, you will first glue the two aft compartments together and then place all the compartment on the left side. Then you will close the right side and then you will insert from behind the one-piece stern hull to sandwich everything all together. That assembly makes sense. But I decided to do otherwise. I decided to first glue the one-piece stern into the left side and then slide the compartment inside and then attach all the forward compartment and then only close the right side. The aft torpedo room, which also houses the two electrical motor, has already been glued to the diesel compartment. The kitchen and the NCO compartment. In the middle of the ship, under the central room, converge all the wire and all the connectors are placed on the PCB for all the LED lights. Then come the officers room with the radio compartment, and under the radio compartment the storage for the 88mm gun ammo. And the last compartment is the forward torpedo room. And as you can see, these two have already been glued together, not as per instructions, but simply because it was much easier to deal with the hatch, the loading hatch of the torpedo. The forward torpedo tubes have been shortened to ensure that they don't conflict with the assembly of the hull doors, which are open on the right side and closed on the left side. If you look at the instruction, you will find that there is a huge structure part that's supposed to be placed on top of the aft torpedo tube. Unfortunately, as you can see here, the plastic deck sagged a little bit and I couldn't use the structure part. So instead I had to find another way to align the compartment. I will come back to that later. Another detail worth mentioning on top of the officer's room here is the white support for the deck gun. It's placed there to provide extra strength to the deck. This part will be dedicated to place on top of the NCO compartment. It's the tube bringing fresh air into the diesel room. Okay, so let's insert the first two aft compartments inside the one-piece stern hull. So we want to keep everything aligned, so I need to insert the torpedo tube into the aft torpedo door I designed in 3D. So we slide the compartment in and then we try to find a hole for the tube, making sure we don't break anything. Yep, a little bit lower, and then we need to push the compartment in a little bit more just to ensure that we just sit in the right position. There it is. The trick here is to ensure that the separation between the two bulkhead here sits perfectly aligned with the stern hull. So I didn't use any glue yet, but as you can see we got two notches to secure the engine room bulkhead. So all we have to do is to glue the bulkhead now to ensure that everything stays in place. Before placing the next compartment, we need to place the air intake tube for the diesel engine. So this that's a little bit delicate, so we need to insert it and then rotate it just to put the other side through the deck. So yep, that's it. Goes into the deck, to the conning tower, and when it sits in place, just 2 tiny drops of glue, and I will use the extra thin Tamiya cement, which is here perfect for the job. So secure it to the engine room, and then we'll secure it to the deck to ensure it doesn't move as we insert the NCO compartment. As the glue of the air intake sets, we will place the 2 forward compartments in place. So we do have a lot of notches in the hull to actually align the compartment correctly. So as you can see, you got front, middle and aft notches, and these notches are very well designed because each bulkhead has its own notch. So it's very easy to align the compartment correctly, but we don't want to use a fast setting glue because we need to have a little bit of time to move the compartment around to ensure that it sits correctly. But before we glue the compartment, we need to ensure that the wires are routed correctly. So wires goes into the notch because we don't want the wires to be here and pinched there, or even worse in the notch, because that would prevent the compartment to sit correctly in place and we would probably cut some wires. And as you can see, the wires in the middle bulkhead here have been routed and glued together, so to ensure they don't conflict with the placement of the compartment. So let's drop a little bit of slow setting glue into each notch. We don't need a lot, just enough for the notch to be secured in place. So that's for the 2 middle bulkhead. Here for the front of the torpedo room bulkhead. This part here will be attached later on. It's for the bow diving plane. Then a little bit of glue into the aft bulkhead of the NCO, the officer's room. You really don't need a lot of glue, just secure this notch in place and we'll be fine. The compartment will be perfectly sitting in its position. So placing the compartment, double check on the wires and holding the wires in place. Then we position the compartment, slide a little bit, trying to find a notch, and then once it sits there, just checking that everything is correctly aligned, and it's already pretty good. Here I had to create an extra support part to ensure that the structure part here doesn't sag too much and conflict with the opening, the structure of the torpedo hull doors. So this one here goes on top of the support so that it stays there and we can close the hull without conflict. Coming back to the NCO compartment, now that the glue is set for the air intake. So let's place a little bit of slow setting glue into the aft bulkhead notch here, just 2 notches, and then making sure we don't use the wrong one for the central, just a little bit of glue for the front bulkhead of the NCO room. Then we'll place the compartment, making sure first that the wires of the aft compartment are routed correctly. We put it on top of the air intake tube and then we push it downwards trying to find again the notches correctly. So this one is a little bit more complicated. We need to ensure that the two bulkhead there between the engine compartment and the NCO are perfectly aligned. So and we know that once we hear usually the click, yep, that's it. It goes in now. So it's perfectly sitting. It has to stay there. So let's secure it. That's it. Right? It's perfectly well aligned. So we're good to go. The last compartment is the most delicate one. So first we need to route all the wires correctly, because you got wires coming from the front compartment, the aft compartment, and then the conning tower as well. So everything needs to be very well organized to ensure there is no conflict. So these are the wires from the central compartment through the back door. And when all the wires are clear, we can insert the compartment in its place. It's very tidy. It goes in, but it's tight. So we place the top, then push the bottom down, then start again. And we really have to push it, so don't hesitate to apply a little bit of pressure here. The idea is to get to the point where all these bulkheads are correctly aligned. It requires a little bit of force, so no glue necessary. Once it sits in place, it will never move again. Yeah, once it sits in place, just ensure that everything is correctly aligned. And eventually we could use a little bit of glue between the bulkhead just to secure it in place, but I don't think it's necessary. So as long as they are perfectly aligned, everything is good. Okay, with all the compartment now in place, we are finally ready to close the hull of the boat. The critical part is at the junction of the stern hull and the right side here. So we got some notches that needs to go inside the stern hull assembly, and the clearance is pretty tight, especially on this one here. This one really is the critical point. So we have to place the right side at an angle and then lower it and slide it backward at the same time, so that it sits securely into the notches. Then the rest is actually quite easy to align. Just need to ensure that on the front there is no conflict, so the structure part sits in its place and nothing conflicts with the parts already glued on the right side hull. Once everything is in place, no glue, just place the part, slide it, done. With the boat close together, we can now address the wire on the back side. So the small PCB, and that's exactly the only two wires coming out of the boat for the battery. And that is the PCB where all the wires are going to be connected. So luckily all these are marked, coming from all the different compartments. You can't go wrong with this PCB because it's cleverly designed with male and female connectors. So we'll slide that once everything is connected, slide that back into the compartment, and once everything is well inside, we can close the compartment with 4 tiny magnets.